My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My guest tonight is Bobby Beaulieu.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome to have me again.
Yes,
you know?
it's nice. We were supposed to have Dan too.
Yeah.
But sorry, Dan, but we're going to get by it without you tonight, buddy.
It'll probably be better this way, actually.
See, I'll let you say that. All right, listen, before we get into any wrestling or anything, we got to talk. It was your idea, too. To talk about the Red Hot Bruins and Celtics.
The best two teams in sports right
both
now.
Sports,
it's ridiculous.
What did you think? I was surprised how great Almark has played since. I mean, I knew he was a decent goalie, but I didn't realize now that he's on a good team.
Yeah,
he's a great goalie.
It's crazy how well he's been playing, just the whole team overall. I honestly was thinking of 500 type team at the beginning of the year. Now it's like, okay, if they're not in the Eastern Conference Finals, this is a bad year now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love it. You got Taylor Hall, Charlie Coyle and Trent Frederick on that third line. I love that line. Obviously, we love they put Krejci with Zaka, the new guy they got, and Pasta. And then Bergeron, Marchand, and a rejuvenated Jake DeBrusk.
I know.
He's playing like we've all wanted him to play. Game in and game out. I'm glad they didn't trade him.
I know, and I really thought they should have last year.
Yeah, me too. I wanted him gone actually last year. It was crazy. And Swayman got hurt.
Yep.
So Almark got to play for a while, and then Almark got hurt Friday, but they say he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I guess he was at practice today.
Yep.
So go Bruins. They're 18-3. They set the NHL record by winning the first 12 home games.
That is ridiculous. That's an astounding feat in itself. They're on pace. They're obviously not gonna go undefeated at home.
Right.
They're not gonna get crazy, but 75%.
Oh yeah.
80%.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And I mean, I will say this because I heard Andy Brickley say it, that the schedule did favor the Bruins at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But I still think they'll beat any team.
Right.
They're that good.
They are that good. I think that beginning of the year of gelling and playing those other teams, it just kind of builds up, and they'll just go right into the next thing. So I mean, you're talking 20 games in. That's still you can't say the favorite schedule's that easy. It's
18-3.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yep.
But how about we go to your Celtics? Guys don't know this, but Bobby had a Celtics green shirt on, and we had to tell him the green screen, even though you guys can't see the green screen.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, no, it's wild. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have just turned into superstars. Yeah, I think that run last year in the finals has really sparked them.
Right.
But again, that's another thing where the schedule is going to get really tough here.
Right.
They're going to get a real tough stretch of I think there's 12 games in 15 days over the end of December into early January.
Yeah.
Including 6 straight home games over Christmas break. But
really?
Yeah,
I like that. They're home.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I mean, lately, I guess the last few games they've been starting Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jaylen Brown. No, I'm sorry, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, and who was the other one I saw? Gerald Williams.
Yep.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Gerald, right?
Gerald Williams. Yep.
So I guess Brown's been coming off the bench, but it don't matter either way. They're going to get their minutes.
They're going to get their points. They're going to get their minutes, and it spreads it out. So you can come in with Tatum gets his points, and then you bring in Jaylen Brown. It's so hard, Jason Tatum.
I know.
You bring him in, and then he gets his points, and they're still both putting up 20-plus points a game, which is insane for two players on one team.
And then you got Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Who's just, how can you not love him? He flops a little here and there.
He does flop a little bit.
But, hey, he's on our team, so I'll let it slide.
Exactly. He's got that Boston feel now. He's just the heart of Boston. Everyone loves him.
I thought he was older than he was. I didn't realize how young he looks older, though. He really does.
Yeah, he's been here the whole time since we drafted him, but he's a fan favorite. The sports hub doesn't understand why Smart is so popular here. It's just so funny.
I don't understand how they don't know. He's physical.
Yep.
He takes no crap from anybody.
Yep.
So that's weird that they say that.
They do say things like that. Yeah, I'm not a big sports hub fan anymore. They're just too negative.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Felga that much. I really him and Mazra. I can't listen to them. They turn me off.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal.
It really is. But last night, you guys went to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
No, Saturday night.
Saturday night in Boston.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is so much better.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view on Saturday night is so much, because you can just go in and enjoy yourself and not freak out that, I have to work tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. or something like that. It's pretty awesome. They try to doll it up. They had the little superstore in Faneuil Hall.
Yeah. Did you guys go down there?
Yeah. I always park at Faneuil Hall. So if you ever have to park, it's I think it's 200 Purchase Street $20 on a weekend.
Oh, nice.
In and out. I was
Yeah.
just the highway's right there. So Everett Park in Boston, Faneuil Hall at the 200 Perch Street.
All right.
But the store, it was so small.
Yeah.
And you could tell, I feel like they gave away the ending of the whole pay-per-view because there was so much heavy Bloodline stuff in the store that I was like, there's no way the Bloodline's going to lose.
Right.
And they're all over the merchandise.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty cool.
What do they sell on the shirt that says SZ and then Uso or something like that?
So the Honore Uso?
Yeah.
They didn't have the shirt anywhere.
way.
No, so like Dan was wearing it on Saturday night, and he was having people coming up to him offering to buy the shirt off his back and like going, where do you have this shirt?
Wow.
But they didn't have the Honore Usos. They only had the Bloodline shirts,
Right.
Survivor Series gear and all that stuff, and like one-off stuff like Drew and things like that. But there was no like Miz. You couldn't buy a Miz shirt there or anything like
Wow,
that.
that's so weird.
Yeah, it was
you'd think
weird.
they'd try to sell it, but like you said, it's a small store.
Yeah, but even
You know?
when we went into the TD Garden, there wasn't a lot of merchandise outside of what we'd already seen. It was just kind of one of those weird things.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, and by the way, Boston Garden, can you like put open more food places during these events? Like they were half closed.
No way.
So lines were massive. I'm trying to get a hot dog in between matches, and I'm staying in line for 20 minutes. It's like,
Right, that's crazy. So, you enjoyed it? You thought it was a great show?
I thought it was an awesome show.
I thought it was a great show too. I watched it from home. It was amazing. Why don't we just go through the matches?
Sure.
It started off with the War Games with the women. Team Belair, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and Mia Yim, who got her name back,
Yep.
beat Team Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley, who looked out of place there just because she's always with Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Did you feel that way?
She felt out of place. Mia Yim at least worked on that side. I know that they had that little rivalry going, but yeah. And you could see in the match that it felt out of place. That's why she kind of kept getting taken out. Like
Right.
if you remember, like she's like in and out. Like she got spit in the face, knocked out.
Right.
She got hit with a chair, she's out. It was just like they kind of kept her off screen and didn't
So
want
that
to touch
way-
Becky.
Oh, really?
Did not want to, like if you said like they had the little move.
Oh, that's right.
They're
No,
keeping
yeah.
they're kind of keeping them separate a little bit.
I'll tell you, I like Rhea Ripley a lot.
Yep.
She can work. She's big for a girl, so when she does sucker punch a guy, it looks like she could hurt you. I know she can kick my butt.
Yeah, it's
She'll
believable.
probably beat us both up at the same time.
100%.
I agree. But that was a great match. I guess I never do this, but I saw they called it an A- match. I'd go for that.
I'd go for that. It was not bad.
Yeah.
You know, the finish was crazy. You know, you're just coming back from an injury, Becky Lynch. You're diving off the top of the cage.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did she look skinnier to you?
She did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think maybe after the baby she worked out too hard,
Yeah.
you know, because she looks really skinny.
She does right now, yeah.
But I'm sure she'll get it back. She's another one though.
Yeah.
Like I said, Rhea Ripley might be the best woman wrestler now, but not by much.
Not by
Because I
much.
mean, Becky, Charlotte, who's not around right now, but I mean, there's just so many. I like the WWE's women more than AEW's. I
Same.
really do.
Same. I don't fully even know what's really going on with AEW's women's
Right.
division. It's a mess of their interim title, which we'll talk about some.
Yeah, we definitely have to, because that was Dan's thing. So actually, I got you saw it, right? He
Yeah.
gave me some stuff so he can kind of be here in spirit.
Yeah.
After that, it was AJ Styles defeating Finn Balor.
Awesome match.
Yeah,
That
and
match.
they have such a history as partners too with the Bullet Club and stuff like that. I thought that match was great too.
Great match. And they both wore the mask. So he came out with the New Japan Pro Wrestling mask and
Right.
all that stuff. Like the crowd was really into it. So I was reading online that saying that the fans weren't being loud. I think they were pumping in noise in the garden because there was some chance that you're like, what does this have anything to do with what's going on?
Right.
But the place up top where we were in the balcony was going wild the whole match.
Nice.
So
That's awesome. A bunch of people went to the show too. My
Yeah.
buddy Dave Fournier went with Joey Kilmartin, and I seen everybody else. But Jerry Lane,
Yep.
you know Jerry, right?
Yeah, I know Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry goes to all the WWE shows. I don't know how he can afford it. He's at all the independent shows and the WWE, AEW. The wrestling's coming around.
Yep.
Jerry's gonna be there.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Dan was walking around. He was running to people that I'd never met, like
Right.
his Nerds of Wrestling fans guys. It was crazy. I go, can we just go one place with you, Dan, where you don't know someone?
Right? That's funny. My mom used to say that about me and my brother. They'd take us to like to the other side of Lowell, and there'd be 10 people that knew us just walking into a store.
Yep.
They called that a B+. I thought it could have been an A.
I thought it could have been A. Yeah.
You know. Then after that, we had the SmackDown Women's title. Ronda Rousey defeating Shotzi. Do you even want to know what the letter for that one was?
Probably a D or an F. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was a throwaway match.
Definitely.
The crowd didn't care. I thought it was misplaced in a bad spot.
Right.
You know, I think that match should have went on before the men's War Games match, just because of how the crowd was going up. But the jumping into the crowd and the stands and trying to sell it that those weren't paid actors and things like that. Come on. You know.
You see that too much too.
Yeah.
You know?
And I was taking pictures because we were sitting camera side. We were in 316 right above that area.
Yep.
I took a picture of like the empty seats. That whole section was empty. And I posted on Twitter, I said, oh, the AEW marks are going to say that WWE can't sell at their place. And then when they dove through it, all the seats were gone. I was like, oh, that's why they were all empty there.
Right. And it's funny because we went to AEW when they were in Boston at Gannis Arena.
Yep.
And that place wasn't sold out. There was a lot of empty. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't horrible.
Right.
But there was a lot of empty seats.
Yeah.
We went in a suite. I went with Sonny and a bunch of people he knew. You can't beat that, man. You're going to pay $60, $70 for a ticket anyways.
Yep.
It was like $90.
Worth it.
So worth it. You got your own bathroom. I mean, it was great. We had a blast. So following that match, we had the U.S. title match, a three-way. Was it a three-way or they call it a triple threat?
Triple threat.
Okay. Seth Rollins, the champ, taking on Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley, and Vince McMahon's favorite guy, Austin Theory.
Yeah, Austin Theory's got some real heat.
Dude, he's good, though. I mean, he's the new champ. I'll tell you guys, we didn't get to the finish there. But yeah, that was a great match. They gave that an A, too.
That was well thought out.
Right.
The way, because Theory won, but didn't really cleanly win because of the spear and all that, and he drops on him. But our section was going wild, going A-Town down, like just yelling it.
That's cool.
Good match.
Nice. So Austin Theory is the new United States champion. And then in the main event, the War Games match, the men's War Team Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa?
Yeah.
Something like that. And Sami Zayn, who's like one of the funniest guys going right now.
I think he's more over than MJF. Like he is ridiculous.
He's over.
Yeah.
He cracks up the bloodline in his promos. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
You know? And they beat the Team Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Butch, Ridge Holland, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. Now, some people were saying like, Sammy turned on Owens. No. Owens turned on Sammy in NXT.
Yeah,
when he blasted him with that chair.
Yeah, he powerbombed him on the side of the ring, took him out, and took his belt from him.
Yeah.
So it's like, that rivalry, though, will never die. You know, that's just going to go back and forth. But the match itself overall was, I don't know if you remember the old War Games, it was submit or surrender. And they got rid of that rule. Like, if they had to do submit or surrender, I don't know if the payoff would have worked. The fact that there are pins in there made the ending perfect the way they could do it.
Right. I thought it was a great match. They gave that an A+.
Oh, yeah.
Which definitely was, And other than the Ronda match, the whole show could have been an A.
Yeah.
All four matches besides the Ronda Rousey Shotzi could have easily been,
Yeah, it's real, because I don't even know who you could have put with Rousey in that moment. All the best wrestlers on the female division were in the War Games match. They have at their disposal right now. And you don't want to do it with Shayna, because that feels like that's going to be the WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just would have scrapped it or just put something else on the card.
Right.
I mean, it is Ronda Rousey.
Could have made it a tag team match, but they wanted to defend the title, I guess.
Anything else, because they were some people in the crowd were calling her the lamest girl on pro wrestling instead of the baddest woman on the planet.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Well, we all know she's not the baddest woman on the planet. She got knocked out twice.
Yeah.
By people. Who was it? The first one was Holly Holm.
Holly Holmes.
And then
I forget
Amanda Nunes.
Oh, yeah, Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes.
Yep.
But, her coach really screwed her anyways in those fights. There's no reason she should have been throwing punches with anybody.
She never should have been standing up with Holly Holmes.
Exactly.
Whose move is to knock people out with their feet. So I don't understand that. And I don't think she should have taken on Nunez. She wasn't ready.
No. And you could see that she wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I mean, she went out there and Amanda Nunes just started tagging her left and right.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And again, I think more it's on her coaching.
Yeah.
There's no reason for her, like you said, to stand up, especially with a striker like Holly Holm.
Make
And
no
then a
sense.
new one's is incredible too as a striker.
Yeah, it made no sense.
But that, definitely didn't make any sense. All right, listen, before we get into like the TV wrestling, I do want to talk about the Wrestling Federation of America is coming back.
I'm excited for this.
Me too. Their first shows are going to be the weekend of January 6th and 7th. On the 6th, they're going to be out in Hooksett. On the 7th, they'll be in Littleton at the Opera House where they used to run all the time. Pretty sure all the buildings are buildings that they run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before, when Steve Bradley was running the company. And then on the 21st of January, which is my birthday, they'll be in Concord. And then on the 22nd, they'll be in Lawrence. I just want to go over. I talked to the owners of Wrestling Federation of America, and I asked them if I could announce anybody that's on the shows, the opening shows. And they told me Ryan Drew, Ilya Markopoulos, BRG. Have you ever seen BRG?
Not
Brett
yet.
Ryan
I'm
Gosling.
waiting.
Oh, dude, you're gonna.
Yeah,
He's
I'll see him
unbelievable.
with this and hooks it.
He's unbelievable.
Yep.
Dude. Nico Silva, Brian Malonis, Logan Black, Mistress Belmont, Gail Barkay, who's a Nepwest New England Pro Wrestling Academy student. Like I told you off, a huge dude. He's got to be like 6'2", 6'3". He's got more than a six-pack, man. Because I'll tell you, this kid's unbelievable. The shape he's in. And then also Danny Miles, which
That's awesome.
Which Danny's doing great things with big-time wrestling right now.
Yep.
He's the champ. He's going up and down the East Coast defending that title.
That's awesome.
So definitely good. And also, there's going to be some students from the Elite Pro Wrestling Academy to so they could get some work too.
Yeah, this is good practice. I'm just glad that wrestling's coming back to New Hampshire full time, kind of. You know.
Isn't it nice? Your brother's wanted this for a long time,
yeah.
man. I mean, he was very vocal about it too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's great to see them. You know, we got a home promotion in New Hampshire now. Other companies are running, like APW. I guess they're going to run more shows in New Hampshire. I wouldn't be surprised if Chaotic start, tapping into these markets. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun to watch them grow again.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that company was awesome back in the day when Bradley was running it, you know? And all the guys that worked there, like Scott Reed, Brandon Locke. I mean, there was just, the roster was incredible.
It was incredible, yeah, back in the day.
All right. So let's talk about, why don't we talk about AEW first?
Sure, yeah.
What do you think? You watch it every week?
So I don't have TNT, so I have to watch it through Twitter.
Yeah.
But I do keep up with it every week, or catch it on YouTube. But yeah. I didn't buy the last pay-per-view, which is the first time in a while.
Right.
Mostly because I only want to see MJF.
Right.
Nothing else wanted me. But
did you the females, Britt Baker, DMD. I love the fans all say
DMD.
Dude, when they first started, I wasn't high on her at all.
Me either.
But man, then one week she did this promo. I don't remember what it was about, but I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's not the same. Is that the same girl I watched last week? Because she's pretty good.
She's good. And her match with is it Shia or Shayna? What is she going by? Paige's new name?
Oh, Saraya. Saraya, yeah.
That was a good match on the what was it? Full Gear card. I had to go back and watch. But yeah, without her, the wrestling division in that whole company is around her. Everything else, the title, no offense to their title, is irrelevant.
Right.
Except for Britt Baker.
Yep. But I will say this, though. Jade Cargill has a great look, and she's not the most polished wrestler because she's new.
Yeah.
But wait till if she ever gets it, though.
Hopefully she gets it because I can't watch any of her matches. They're just brutal.
Right.
And I honestly think the undefeated streak is the lamest thing in wrestling. Like, get rid of that. That needs to go. Like, even if it's some cheap way to get it off her.
Right.
But get that out of there.
Yeah.
That just... What are we talking about? 42-0. Who cares?
Right. Nobody cares. Right. This isn't that late 90s with Goldberg, early 2000s.
Right.
So I want to talk to you about the females in NXT.
Yep.
Especially Toxic Attraction. When Mandy Rose was on Raw or SmackDown, she was like irrelevant in a way.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cares. She barely talked.
Everybody seen it. Whoa, she's a good-looking girl, but that's all anybody. She went down to NXT and worked her ass off.
Yeah.
She really has. She's
paid off,
become a great wrestler.
Yeah, she's now the longest reigning women's champion in NXT history.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
and here's
crazy.
a girl that, what was she, like a fitness model?
Yeah.
She wasn't a wrestler, independent wrestler.
Nope. Just a fitness model. And like on the main roster, she was just like an afterthought. You barely ever hear her talk. Now it seems like she's kind of getting it down there. I think they've given her more freedom.
Right.
You know, Vince McMahon's gone.
Yeah.
Even before that, maybe this would have happened if she was still in the main roster without Vince. But it does feel like might be time to call her back up.
Yeah, I think they will. And I heard her say in an interview that she wants the whole group to go up, which absolutely they should.
Right.
They got a good thing going there.
Right. That would be a great way to call them up and give Damage Control something, because I think they've misplayed the Damage Control saga this whole time. Like, great debut at SummerSlam. But other than that, the whole thing has been kind of a flop.
Right.
They never should have had Bayley with what's her name, Belair to start. That should have been avoided.
Yeah, should have been built to that.
Yeah, and so they ruined it. So now if you bring up Mandy Rose and you have two factions, that might help it out.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I like the girl, JC Jane and Gigi Dolan.
Yep.
I mean, they're both good workers too.
Yep.
Now, I don't know about JC Jane. I do know that Gigi Dolan was an independent wrestler.
Yes.
I don't know about JC Jane. Do you, by chance?
I don't recall.
I don't, and I think I would have known
Yeah.
if she was a wrestler too, because I mean, I'm pretty dialed into independence across the whole United States. I pay attention to it, you know? But Alba Fry, what do you think? I can't see her with the title.
Neither can I. I don't, it might be just too early to tell, but
There's another new girl they just brought up.
what was her name? I forget her name.
Sounds, it's pronounced weird. That's what, is she redhead too?
I don't remember.
I think she is.
Maybe it's dyed red hair. But
She's very pale.
Yeah.
But
both of them, it's like, it's too early to tell. Like, it's like, but usually if someone starts with their gimmick, you're kind of going to go, okay, this might have somewhere to go. These two, I don't.
Yeah, it's weird.
They might be repackaged in 6 months.
And what's with the bat all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Like, you should let her, if you're going to do something like that, give it to him at the beginning.
Right.
It's kind of like what they did with McIntyre, giving him the sword. He didn't need the sword.
Yeah, he doesn't need the sword.
Now, you should have gave him the sword 2 years beforehand then, when he needed something.
Right. Now he doesn't need it. And
no, he don't need it. And he's amazing.
Yeah,
you know? And he still hasn't got that fan pop of winning the belt either.
Right.
And I really want to see that because he earned it.
Right.
He worked his butt off wrestling in front of no fans, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like that he got pumped up to that Wales match, right? And it's just like, that would be great, but the payoff for Roman, you can't touch that. 2 years, that's just, poor guy.
I don't know who's going to be Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
What if it's Sammy?
That'd be sweet. They're in Montreal in February for Elimination Chamber.
Ooh.
You know.
Wow, that would work too.
Yep, you get Roman versus Sami Zayn, or Roman's in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Something happens. I don't know.
I love the thing he's going with. There's a Jay that he has a problem with. Jay Uso, right?
It's Jay, which, by the way, we couldn't figure out which one it was because we were sitting.
Yeah.
We were sitting on Saturday night. The bar was blocking their face, so we couldn't tell who was in the cage. And we're like, we think that's the one he doesn't get along with. No, it's the one he gets along with. But then when Roman did his thing, then we figured out, oh, that's Jay.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was great when Jay said, I don't care give a damn what the tribal chief and seem right. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that. I'm like, that's just those little things. Yeah. And then he nails it.
Yep.
You know? At one point, I was like, throw the mask back on him as El Generico.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I really was.
Yeah.
Because they weren't giving him the opportunity to talk and show his incredible personality.
Right, and honestly, the COVID pandemic kind of brought it out of him because they had nowhere else to go, and Sammy became like when he was going through like what was that gimmick he was doing over the pandemic where he was like dancing around like that?
With the green?
Yeah.
Like he was in the service or something.
Yeah. So he went through that gimmick and it really kind of brought him out because they couldn't use everyone because of the COVID stuff. So that kind of helped remind them like, oh, this guy gets it.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't we using this guy more?
and Solo's doing well too.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Did you see how remember he beat Christian?
Yeah, yep.
Well, Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
And then he brought the belt to SmackDown, and then he goes back to NXT and they take the belt from them. And basically, it was so that they all would have pictures of them all being champs.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
You
Just
know?
for the one little photo op.
But what do you think? Do you think the Usos are the best tag team in the world? They
FTR
gotta be up there, though.
FTR to me is the best tag team in the world
Okay,
right now,
yeah.
but the Usos
they're
are right up there. They're
right?
right up there. You know, like the longest reigning SmackDown champions of all time.
Right.
They put on banger after banger match. They're
Every
just,
match they do.
You know, it's the rest of the division in WWE is kind of so-so, so it's
Right.
been very easy to keep the belts on them.
Yep.
But who takes the belts off them? Like, who's going to break that up?
Well, hopefully, it'd be the Viking Raiders with another local guy around here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I didn't know Ivar was from New Hampshire.
Yeah, right. Came over on his Viking boat.
Yeah. Did you see the match when they had like the Viking boat in the ring?
Yep.
That was pretty funny. I like that. And do you know the story about how they got together?
No, I actually don't know it.
They both, Ray Rowe and Hanson, were both in the top prospect tournament.
Yeah, okay.
And they wrestled in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivar won. And one of them said to the other, man, imagine if we teamed up and beat the crap out of everybody instead of ourselves.
Yeah.
And then they teamed, and look, you've seen how quickly they did well.
Oh, yeah.
They won the IWGP Championship pretty quick.
Yep.
So I'm a big fan of those guys, and I was bumming for a little while because they really weren't using them very well.
Especially when he came back from injury. They just
Yeah.
didn't know what to do with them. And the
Right.
repackaging, Sarah Logan's repackaging, Valhalla.
Isn't that
Whoa,
crazy?
It's like total transformation. Like, I don't know how much makeup they're putting on every day
Right.
for that, because that is wild.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if you know this, but Todd's girlfriend used to be in wrestling.
Oh, really?
Cherry Payne and Chaotic. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, it'd be kind of cool if they both would have came back.
Yeah.
But you knew Sarah was going to come back eventually because Todd's girl was a manager.
Yep.
You know, Sarah was a great worker.
Yep.
You know, matter of fact, I think at one time when she was like 18 years old, her boyfriend was Madman Pondo. Do you know who that is?
No.
Oh, if I was her father, I would have been like, get out of my. The guy was like, he's probably 50 years old now.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, he was in his like probably late 30s,
Yep.
and she's dating an 18-year-old girl. Crazy.
Yeah.
But now she's a Vikingette.
Yep.
Is that what?
Is that what they're calling
What's
themselves?
her name? Valhalla?
Valhalla, yeah.
I like it. You know, and she was a good independent wrestler.
She was, and
You know?
it kind of sucked when they cut her when
Yeah.
she got let go. I feel like they've undone a lot of that bad stuff that they had done over the pandemic.
Yeah, thank God for Triple H.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he's
He's
changed the
doing
game.
great things already. People want to come back and work here.
Yep.
You know, and if you think about it, almost anybody that's left, you know, I'm sure he'd probably want back. I guarantee you, if he was running things, Regal wouldn't be in AEW.
No,
That
but-
was his number one guy.
But Regal's contract might be up, so he might come back.
Oh,
So-
I'd like to see him come back. I would. I think he helped for AEW. They had to have been ecstatic to get him.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
a huge get at that point.
Huge.
Yep.
So I'd like to see where it goes. I hope he does come back.
Same.
Because I'll always be a WWE guy over any other company. I always will.
Yeah, I've
like I'm
always
sure
been.
you would too.
Same.
We grew up on it.
Yep.
You know?
AEW has its moments, but honestly, it's the fans that ruin AEW for me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No. Yeah. Me and Dan talk about that a lot. I'm not a fan of fans that will go things like, oh, why did they do that? They should have did this. Listen, dude, if you're that smart, you'd be working for the company.
Exactly.
I say this all the time. No one like Bobby. When I go to a wrestling show, as soon as I walk through that door, I dispel belief.
Yep.
If there's a guy in the ring says he's a goat, I'm looking at him as a goat.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's the whole point. You're supposed to be there and entertain yourself, not like.
Yeah.
Take
Not
it so
just
serious.
talk
Yeah, yeah.
trash about it constantly.
Yep.
You know? Oh, well, they praise AEW and trash everything else.
Yeah, they'll talk about the fact that they're gonna have that 6-man tag match 7 times, and I'm like,
Right?
how many times I gotta see this match? Like, I don't want to see it. They're like, oh, it's always cool. I'm like, I don't care to see
Right.
this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
stop with the flippies.
Yep. And it's funny, like you said, you've seen some guys. Well, Dan saw some guys from the Nerds of Wrestling
Yeah.
thing. Well, Dan told one day, I guess because he's a administrator,
Yeah.
I guess, of the group, he saw that I had posted and nobody saw it for like 3 hours. So he said, just text me. I'll make sure I put it right through for you.
Yeah.
It's good to have connections.
It's good to have connections when you got them.
You know? Anything else? Well, MJF, we got to talk a little
Yeah,
bit about him.
he's so over. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
He'll be in the WWE someday. There's no doubt.
I think he needs to figure out how to just embrace the fact that he's a face. No matter what he does, like even the stuff with at the pay-per-view with Moxley, where he's like, "Oh, you trusted the devil." It's like you're fighting this fight that there's no point. You're over as a face.
Right.
You're not a heel. No matter what you do, you could put in the biggest babyface against you, and they're gonna get booed.
Yeah.
So embrace
Everybody
that.
wants to cheer him.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the Austin thing back in the day.
Yep.
I think MJF should hold that belt for a long time.
Same.
I really do. Look what it's done for Roman.
Yeah.
Holding that belt, because you got to admit, 4 years ago, everybody was sick of Roman because he was being shoved down our throats. Then they stuck him with Heyman.
Yep.
And Heyman taught him how to talk on a microphone. Man.
Yeah, and now he's like, people
Incredible.
he's singing that cage on Saturday night in a chair, and everyone's like, what the hell is going on over
Right.
there? Like, it was just, he's got it, and MJF should do the same thing, like stay with the belt for a long period of time. Use MJF to bring up some of your younger talent, like Ricky Starks.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting that title shot.
I like him, too.
Yeah.
I was surprised they had Hobbs beat him that quick.
I did, too.
You know, I think that match should have been a longer match.
Yeah, that was at the All Out,
Yes.
right? The problem with All Out, and this is another problem with AEW, their cards are too big on pay-per-view. So that
You're
match
right.
got scrapped, and then the Christian Cage match with Jungle Boy at that pay-per-view, they cut that short, and he just gets beat up and then thrown in the ring and pinned. It's like, figure it out. Just maybe do 2 nights. Like, you're making fun of WWE doing 2 nights. If you're going to have 20 matches on the card, figure it out.
And when you we talked about how that pay-per-views are on Saturday nights now.
Yeah.
I think they learned from the UFC, man. The UFC does that, and they sell a lot of pay-per-views.
A lot of pay-per-views.
And like you said, if it would have been a Sunday, you would have went to the show. You definitely wouldn't have left early because of the main event.
Yep.
But still, you would have been like, man, you know.
Yeah. I drove
I gotta
everyone.
work
so
tomorrow.
and I drove everyone, and they made me go up for one more beer after to I was like, I'm not drinking, so I'll just hang out there. I didn't get up until 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning.
Wow.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
What you guys hang around outside?
We walked around. The pay-per-view ended around like 11:30. We were trying to go to the Greatest Bar. We went the wrong way.
Yeah.
So we went back to the Greatest Bar, and then we headed out. But I had to drop everyone off at their places, because I didn't want anyone driving.
Right.
So I was like, I'll pick you guys all up. So
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, that must have made them, everyone that was drinking, they must have been real happy.
Yeah, the beers were flowing.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I did, like I was saying earlier, I did go to the AEW show in Boston, and it's even those are long too, because they do the dark, right, for the internet.
Yep.
Then they do Dynamite, and then they do Rampage. And then I think Coney Khan was saying, and stick around after Rampage, we're going to have another match. I looked at Sonny, and Sonny's like, we're leaving. Soon as Rampage, we know Rampage is over, we're out of there.
Yeah. No, that's another, AEW's got to figure that out. Like, you can't keep us there for that long.
Right.
I mean, I sat through a 5.5 hour WrestleMania in New York, and I got to the end, I was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And you guys stayed in a hotel, right? You didn't drive right home, did you?
No, I found an Airbnb like 10 minutes away from the stadium. We didn't wait in traffic either.
Nice. All right, is anything up? Jungle Boy, what do you think? I like his in-ring work.
It's great, but...
He needs to talk, or give him somebody.
Yeah. Give him someone to talk, figure that out, because he's got the in-ring capability.
Right.
The mic skills aren't there. Maybe repackage and get rid of the name Jungle Boy. Figure
Jungle
something out.
Jack.
Yeah.
You can keep the jungle in there.
Yeah.
Jungle Jack Perry sounds good.
Yeah. You can figure that out, but it feels like he's got another 4 or 5 years till they've totally figured out that.
Right.
Because he is so young.
He's very young. Yeah. And he's really good, though. I mean, for a young kid like that I don't know how long he was wrestling in the Indies. I really don't.
Yeah.
I would have to think at least a couple years.
Definitely a couple years, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I definitely like Jungle Boy. I'm not much of a fan of Luchasaurus. I liked him when he was with Jungle Boy.
Yeah, when they were together and they're the tag team.
I loved him.
Yeah.
But he does not perform, and he's so big.
He is so big, and some of these gimmicks I can handle for a little bit.
Right.
His, I'm just kind of like, okay, where do we go from here with you? Like, if you're not with Jungle Boy and you're on your own, what's a Luchasaurus?
Yeah. Very true. I said they take the Jungle Boy should unmask him.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But then he can put the mask back on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? For the character, but take it off, kind of humiliate him a little.
Yep.
And that way, Jungle Jack Perry, hey, AEW can thank me for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard somebody on one of the announcers on AEW was saying Jungle Jack. And I think when Taz turned around and goes, "That's not his name," and everything was Excalibur, and he's like,
Oh, yeah.
"That's his name.
That's his name.
It's Jack Perry." Yeah, but you called him Jungle Jack, and I'm like, I think Taz is the funniest announcer out there. I really don't think he messes up on purpose.
Right.
But if he is, it's genius.
He's genius because
I think he's a riot.
he's a riot, you know.
You know?
I feel like WWE never should let him go, 15 years ago at this point. But
he was a good commentator right
commentator.
off the bat, I thought.
Yeah.
I really did. So I don't know. What do you think about? Might as well talk a little about the announcers real quick, because I listen to Cornette. I don't know if you do.
Oh, I do listen to Cornette.
Oh my God, the things that he says about some of these guys, I just love it. Like, I won't say the whole thing, but McFinger Bang, in the Hardless Boys. He said the Hardy Boys, that with what are they called? The tag team there, the Young Bucks.
The Young Bucks.
They do nothing for me, by the way. Nothing.
I've never cared for the Young Bucks. Not even. I feel like they need to be in a faction to be relevant.
Yeah.
Other than that, one, you're not young anymore.
Right.
So they haven't changed the name, but never. I think their matches are all kind of the same.
Right.
Carbon copies.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of them. And Sonny would say to me, I'd be in his house watching the pay-per-view. He's like, "You got to give him a chance tonight."
Yeah.
So one night I did. It was a good match.
Yep.
That's all I said. But I see almost anybody their size can do what they do. There's nothing special, in my opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Same. No, I agree.
What about Omega?
Omega's awesome. See,
I
love
think he's a
Omega.
really good wrestler. I don't think he's the greatest wrestler.
He's not the greatest wrestler.
No. But he's good. He's real good.
Him and Ospreay at
I can imagine.
in New Japan. They're doing it on the 3rd or whatever it is.
December 3rd?
At Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, I gotta see that.
So it's in January. So it's the first weekend of January. That
They don't like each other for real, too, you know.
Right.
They really don't. I guess Ospreay's kind of a dick.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's, you know. But he's great, too, though, man.
He's great. Can't talk on the mic.
No, another
Don't give him a
one.
microphone. But great matches, and him and Omega will tear it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
At Wrestle Kingdom, but it was interesting because he did file that lawsuit against Ospreay this summer.
Yeah.
The cease and
Isn't that
desist.
crazy, though?
That's so funny.
And now they're going to work together. But Omega's already proven that he can do business.
Right, which is why I think we get Omega and CM Punk. I don't think CM Punk's done to AEW. Some people say
so,
I don't
huh?
think he is. There's too much money. I heard
Too
all
much
this,
money to be made.
Too much money to be made. I heard some people were saying, "Oh, he's going to get bought out." I was like, "That's
Why?
coming from Dave Meltzer." So
Right.
who's telling Dave Meltzer that?
Yeah.
Probably the Young Bucks.
Right.
Just to feed it up. But
Yep.
there's too much money to be made between
That
Omega and
match is
Punk.
going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that set up to do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And again, like I said, I don't think he's the best wrestler, no, but he's right near the top. I'd be an idiot to say otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
know?
right up there. You know, I mean, I still feel like right now Roman Reigns is the biggest draw in all of wrestling.
Oh, no doubt.
Omega's maybe top 6, top 5
Yeah.
draws in all
Right.
wrestling.
But I mean, and it's just, and like you said, Roman, and everybody has grown from that in that group, except for maybe Jimmy, because they're not talking about him.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, you see Jimmy work, he's incredible. Both of them are.
Yeah, I think Jimmy hurts Jimmy though because of all the DUIs. Like that's probably.
So it is Jimmy that gets all the
he's the one who got
DUIs.
in trouble.
Stop driving drunk.
They started chanting it when he got called into the ring.
Yeah,
I was
did
like,
they really?
oh man, here we go.
Wow, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know both the last 2 times he got arrested for drunk driving? Do you know what he did?
What?
Went down the one-way street the wrong way.
Oh,
He's going the other way, the right way. You probably don't even get pulled
Probably
over.
doesn't get pulled over. Dummy.
Stupid, man.
And he makes enough money. Just call an Uber.
Exactly. A lot of my friends that like to go out on the weekends,
Yep.
they'll get like somebody to drop them off somewhere because it's 7:30, 8
Yeah,
o'clock, and then they'll Uber it
back.
home.
That's the way to go.
I went to a concert. I went to see, who was it? Faster Pussycat, LA Guns, and the lead singer from Cinderella, Tommy Kiefer.
Mm-hmm.
I had my girlfriend drop me off. I went with my buddy Joe, who lives in Salem,
Yep.
New Hampshire. So I told Maria, I said, drop me off. I'll just take an Uber home.
That's the way to go.
It was safe. And this way, Joe didn't have to go from there
All
to
of that.
Nashua and then go all the way to Salem.
Yep.
Because really, to get to Salem isn't that quick, no matter.
No.
It's a pretty long ride just to get to Salem.
Yep. especially Nashua. It's just not easy.
Yeah, no, Nashua's.
Put a bridge somewhere in the middle of the place.
Thank you. From like Hudson?
Yeah.
Like, was that 111 or was that 102?
That's 111.
Yeah. They should have did that a long time.
Yep. Not enough bridges.
Right? All right. All right. So how about we'll talk a little more about NXT? I know we did a little bit.
Yep.
But what about our favorite guy in NXT? Carmelo Hayes.
I think he's ready to move on. I don't think he needs NXT anymore. Yeah.
Right.
I think you keep him there right now because they don't have the star power behind him yet.
Right.
But other than Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes is probably the only other person ready.
Maybe Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, maybe Cameron Grimes. Yeah, they're ready to go right now.
Yep. Did you know he did a couple of main events?
Yeah.
I saw that. So I didn't watch him because you can watch it on Peacock, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can 2 weeks later. I think that's a delay or whatever. But yeah, no, I've been waiting for him to call because I was on this show 3 or 4 years ago. We were saying he was going to make it.
Yep.
Everyone thought it was going to be Josh Briggs, and I was like, that's the guy.
Yes. Now, seeing you brought up being here years ago, I got to do this, and it's killing me to do this. Dan, you were right about them pushing Ricochet like a mid-carder. I told him it was never going to happen. He was going to be a superstar.
Yeah, he's a mid-carder.
And Dan was right. I was wrong. And that's the last time I'm going to give you the props, Dan. But he was right.
He was right.
I
think he wins the tournament on SmackDown this week, but they're going to do Braun Strowman versus Walter.
Right.
I think that happens at Royal Rumble.
That'd be really good, man. Because I'll tell you, Braun Breaker's doing really well for a guy that literally just came into wrestling at the Performance Center. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, we know he grew up in the business, but you still got to do the work.
Right.
You know?
Sounds just like his dad.
Yes. I love how he's doing that. You know what I mean? The dog bark. Yeah. I like that.
Well, go watch the Table for Three with him and the Steiner brothers.
Yeah.
And Scott and Rick just make fun of him, saying that he wouldn't be famous and over today if he didn't steal their whole gimmick.
Nice. I'll listen to that tomorrow when I go to work. That's awesome. What about Wesley?
Not bad. I don't know much about him, but
Well, when he was in the tag team with Carter Nash or Nash Carter.
Yeah, Nash Carter, yep.
They were really good, but do you remember when they were doing the little promos and they were talking, who were they looking for again? They found him too. Oh, come on. I forget who, but their promos, the little vignettes or whatever, were brutal, dude. They were acting like 11-year-old kids at some point. I'm like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? You're making two guys that fans are loving their work.
Yep.
And then you're giving the fans that love their work something that they don't want to see.
Right.
Because I didn't want, they kind of ruined it for me because I was on the band. I was on the wagon.
Yep. You were ready to go, and then.
And isn't that crazy though?
It's wild. Yeah. Those guys. It's been a while since I've seen much of that stuff, but.
Right. Yep. Well, we got one other local guy to talk about in NXT.
Yep.
Josh Briggs.
Josh Briggs, yeah.
Briggs and Jensen with Fallon, Henny, I think.
Yeah.
She's a pretty good looking girl.
Really good girl, but.
And she can work.
Yeah.
But I like the tag team. I can see them. I don't see them not coming up as a team.
Yeah.
I think eventually when they come, they'd be better off.
Right.
And the size of those guys.
They're massive.
Massive.
And Briggs has put on what looks like a lot of weight since he's been in NXT.
Dude, that's the first thing I said, because when he got to NXT at the same time Carmelo Hayes did, or was it AG? One or the other. I think it might have been AG. Was it Carmelo?
It was Carmelo. They were in that tournament.
Oh, okay.
The one that Carmelo Hayes won.
The breakout tournament.
Yeah.
He beat Josh in the first match.
Yeah.
Then he beat somebody else. And then he beat Odyssey Jones. So he beat three huge guys.
Yeah.
But Briggs and Jensen, I think they're a great tag team.
They are.
And like you said, he looks like he put on weight. When he didn't wrestle and Carmelo was on TV all of a sudden, I was wondering, what, did he get hurt?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I seen him on TV and he looked like he put on about 30 pounds. But they might have told him.
They might have told him, you're a big man, put on big man weight so that it looks better on television for you.
Yep.
But I could see them coming up in 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be after Carmelo, for sure.
Definitely, yeah, 100%. I think Carmelo is maybe one of those April call-ups, for after WrestleMania. Yeah.
I'd like to see it. I know you would too.
I would love to see that, yeah.
And I think, I got to tell you a quick story.
Yep.
I was doing the concessions at APW. Mm-hmm. And guy, Johnny Vegas, was retiring that night. we just got them, getting my hot dogs ready, the meatballs and stuff. And my girlfriend says, Leo, someone wants to talk to you. I look to the window and he's hiding, like, so I don't see him.
Yep.
I walk up, it's Carmelo Hayes. He's like, dude, the door's gonna open soon, but I had to come say hi before the doors open.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey man, good to see you. Let me get a picture later. And he's like, yeah. So I looked at my girlfriend though and said, how do you not know who that is? Every week on NXT, I point them out to you every week.
Yeah.
I said, that's how much you pay attention to me when I talk. Oh, yeah, it was hilarious. He thought it was great. She got a little mad at me, but I told her, I said, well, you should pay more attention.
Exactly.
I said, I point this guy out every single week. Isaiah's not a wrestling fan, but he loves Carmelo Hayes. Because he knew Isaiah's name the first time Jai met him.
Oh, really?
How do you know my name? I'm like, dude, everybody knows your name because you come to wrestling shows
exactly
all the time. Now he hates wrestling.
Yeah.
But he said
he'll come back around.
Well, he did say if Carmelo Hayes comes around again, I want to go see him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you only want to see him because he made it famous now.
Exactly, you're right.
But I remember when you were here years ago, and we were talking about him, me, you, and your brother.
Yep.
And we knew he was going to be a star. How about when he was going for the title? We'd go to the shows.
Yep.
He wouldn't win. We'd bitch about it the whole ride home.
Exactly, every time. It was like, just give me the... And then the one time I didn't go, he wins the belt.
Yeah. I was there. It was awesome. But it was so funny, like the 2 times before me and Dan on the ride up. He's getting it tonight. He's getting it tonight. Then he didn't. We'd be pissed all the ride home.
They're like, well, we're going to get another $30 out of you.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I would have brought it. I got it on Carmelo Hayes zippy.
Oh, you do?
Hood. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's nice. I didn't wear it tonight, but I'll show it to you. I'll put it on and take a picture and send it to you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. One more thing with NXT. Ava Reigns, the Rock's daughter.
Can't talk.
No. She tried, but
she tried.
Yeah.
That was, it's early.
Right.
So that's the only good thing, saving grace for her. I don't know if she has a future in this, but we'll see.
Do you think they're going to follow through with Bray Wyatt and the 6 characters? Or do you think it's going to be Bray Wyatt's each character?
I feel like Bray Wyatt's going to be each character. It's so hard to know what they're doing with it, because like the LA Knight stuff, by the way, that's another underrated thing in this whole thing, has been great. But the whole uncle, what's the uncle's name? What is he called? I can't remember what his uncle's.
Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy, yeah.
Uncle Howdy.
I just want to know who that is.
I think it's going to be his brother.
That's what everyone thinks.
Dallas. That's who I think, because they said he's coming back. Would make sense.
Yep.
The guy with the Hawaiian shirt could be Grayson Waller.
Could be Grayson Waller.
You know? And that's another guy that at first, I didn't like him. Mm-hmm. He wasn't that great thing, but the way he's worked.
Yeah, he
and his mic skills.
Yep.
It's incredible. I really do. I like him now.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because at one point I was like, I changed the channel when he was on.
Yeah, it was like one of those gimmicks that I was
would.
like, oh man, why this guy?
Man, has he come a long way.
He has.
You know? And last one, I keep saying that, but Cora Jade.
Oh, yeah.
She's like 20 years old, too.
Jeez.
She's going to be a suit. You know who her boyfriend is, right?
No.
But not say anything bad about it. Braun Breaker.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. Don't want to put her down in front of Braun.
Nope.
I saw, I'm going to definitely watch the Table for 3.
Yeah.
But I loved it that the Steiner brothers went in the Hall of Fame.
That was awesome last year.
It was overdue. And for once, Scott just shut his mouth for his nephew.
Yeah, he just.
And I was
like,
glad to see
this.
that.
Yeah.
Because I saw a video from 2 weeks ago, and he called Triple H and Stephanie like all kinds of bad words.
Yep. Yeah,
You know?
he's off the cusp.
Yeah.
Too many concussions. He has way too many concussions.
Yeah. And they were so good as a team. And then when they broke up, I wish Rick would have got more.
Yeah.
I really do, because he's a great worker.
Yeah, and even when they did break up, Scott Steiner didn't need the NWO.
No, he did not.
It was like, thanks a lot, Bischoff. Like, watering it down even more.
All right. Let's move over to SmackDown.
Yep.
Which brought him up Bray Wyatt.
His return has been one of the best well-done things that they've done in years.
Right.
Again, Triple H did it, so that's probably why it's been better. I'm so intrigued at where the storyline is going.
Me too.
So
Me too.
And when do we find out?
Right.
Do they hold it out till Rumble?
And whatever
WrestleMania?
happened to Sister Abigail? They don't. There's not even a mention of her anymore. You think if they're gonna bring in people to play those characters, she should be the one with the veil.
Right. You would think that. Honestly, we thought something was gonna happen with Bliss in the War Games match, which, by the way, glad they didn't do.
Right.
It would have been the wrong move, but yeah, where is this going? Other than beating up LA Knight?
Again, though, like you said, LA Knight's killing it too.
Yeah.
What's the thing he says? Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you.
That's his little, I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad when they brought him up, they buried him at first.
That was stupid. That whole
because
call
the
up
guy's
the male
so
models.
talented.
Yeah.
Even if let's just say his wrestling was like a 7.
Yep.
The way he talks, he should be on TV every week. But he's not a 7.
Right.
He's higher than that. Not gonna go say he's 10, but 8.5, 9. He's really good.
He's great.
I like him.
And if at some point maybe you can bring in Nick Aldis and bring them in together.
Dude, that would be really. I guess he just turned down AEW.
Did he?
Yeah,
he quit
said
then?
because he said I have too much respect for the NWA.
Ooh. Or he needs that money from the WWE.
Exactly. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
I really can't. All right. At first, I'm sure you hated it, along with everybody else.
Yep.
But Butch is growing on me.
He's growing on me.
He is growing on me.
I don't care for the name.
Right.
But I mean, if he's happy in the character, then it's fine. But I'm sitting there going, that's Pete Dunne. You can't lie to me. But he is.
Isn't he good?
He's so good. Like
he is.
He's the best worker in that stable. I know right now Sheamus is the hottest wrestler he's been in many years.
Yes.
He's putting on match after match after match that are just unstoppable. But like the best worker in that group is Butch.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And what's his name's not bad either. For a guy that was hurting people left and right at first, Ridge Holland. I like the character. I want to see him be more safe in the ring. I really do.
I don't like the recklessness. You're not Ryback. Like, I don't like that.
Yes, well, thank God Ryback's never going to
I know, right?
You know what I mean? I told you Punk might be a jerk, but I agreed with almost everything he said with the Ryback stuff. How he hurt him every time.
Every time.
And then they tell him, oh, you're going to wrestle him again. He's like, I've already told you he kills me every time, and you keep putting me in the ring with him.
Yep.
I don't think we'll ever see Ryback we'll never see him in the Hall of Fame.
Nope.
Nothing. He's done. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, when they came in, it was like gangbusters.
Yes.
It seemed to slow down a little.
It does feel that way. I think he came in hot, right, with the Drew McIntyre stuff. I don't think Karrion Kross is working out as well they thought they did, so that's why they're pulling back. Like they thought, okay, maybe we're gonna get that original character that we had back in NXT. It's just not working. Like there's something off with him.
In that their entrance is one of the best in wrestling, in my opinion.
It is.
I love how she sings and she walks around and then comes through the legs.
Yeah.
I remember showing Maria, like I watched it for the first time, and I showed my girlfriend, I'm like, look at this. This guy's incredible. Right from the minute he comes out, he's captivating us with his entrance.
Exactly, but it's just not working.
No, it's not. And I hope to see it work out for him. Because I want to see him around for a long time, because we know he can wrestle.
He can wrestle, but can he do the other stuff? That's the hard part.
Right. And he's got a hot girl, his wife. Scarlett is gorgeous. I don't know if you know this, but when AG went to Evolve for the first time, they put her with him.
Oh, really?
I said, his girl, Ava Everett's not going to be too happy about this. But it's incredible. One other, where's the New Day? They on Raw? They're on Raw, right?
They're on SmackDown.
Oh, they're on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Big E? Are we ever going to see him again?
I don't know if he'll wrestle again. It's possible. I mean, we've seen other wrestlers come back from neck injuries like this, but over years.
Yeah.
I don't think we see Big E in another year or so.
It's too bad, because that's all he ever wanted to be, was a big wrestling star.
Yeah.
I read that just like a week ago somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually, I read it on Ring the Damn Bell. That's what I read. I don't know if you ever checked that website out.
No, but I'll check it out.
Ring the Damn Bell. It's cool. They have like scandals.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's a section for scandals. There's a section for people that were down in the territory that never got the break. They ended up getting released. Lots of good stuff. Is Riddle hurt?
I think so, but I don't think they don't have anything for him right now. I think that this is one of those parts where they have too much talent.
Right.
And it's like, we'll figure out, because Randy Orton's not coming back anytime soon. I think that's what they were going to do.
Right.
Now
him and Randy?
Yeah. But now it seems like that, Randy's not coming back anytime soon.
Right.
What do you do with Riddle?
Right. And we talked a little bit about that. Maybe Kenny Omega's not the best wrestler in the world, but he's got to be top 5, top 10 at the least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, I want to see Riddle come back and take on Randy Orton.
That would be awesome.
I think Randy Orton's a better wrestler than Kenny Omega. I do.
Yeah.
Just because his wins and losses don't, who cares about that?
Right.
What do you think?
I think Randy Orton's better overall
Yeah.
than Omega. I think he's a better draw than Omega. It's been doing it for so long. I think he has such a body of work in WWE.
Yeah.
That people go, oh, he can only do these 5 moves. It's like, no, he does the 5 moves he needs to do because he doesn't want to get hurt.
Right.
There's no need to do these flips and jumps and things like that. You know.
Yep.
And I mean, Omega's been protecting the same finishing move for what, 20 years?
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So.
It's interesting though.
Yep.
Viking Raiders just kicked the crap out of Hit Row Friday night.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked that they did that because
Same.
it was like a squash match.
Yeah, it was a squash.
Why you bring a team like that back to squash them? There's other teams they could have used.
They could have done anything else. It's like they don't know what to do yet with them,
Right.
and I'm assuming they'll figure it out at some point. But
I
the
hope
Viking
so.
Raiders, that's who the Usos are going to have to deal with next. It feels like that's who they're going to deal with next.
I tell people this all the time that wrestling should have, like, for writers, you should have a real writer,
Yep.
a former wrestler,
Yep.
and a fan who knows what the fans want.
Yep.
Put them in a room, come up with some stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I really, really strongly believe that.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many smart minds in the business that aren't in it anymore. Like Kevin Sullivan, he was such a great booker.
He was a great booker.
You know, a lot of the guys that left WWE and now are in AEW. You know, the Billy Guns, the Pat Buck's there now.
Yep.
You know Pat Buck is.
Yeah,
right?
no, Pat Buck. Yep.
Just crazy. Listen, we only got 50 seconds. I'll give you one more name. Johnny Gargano.
Why did they change his music? I know it's because CFO broke up.
Right? But why?
That sucks. I do love him.
Yeah.
You know, I am looking forward to him and the Miz and their stuff as they keep going through. But
Yes.
push him.
Yeah.
Push him
And
in the movie.
Ciampa too.
Him and Ciampa.
I think
when
he's
he gets
hurt
back.
right
Yeah,
now,
when he comes back.
Yeah.
Ciampa will get pushed when he comes back. Triple H loves him.
Right. Anything you want to plug?
No, well, I am doing the Tough Ride again this year.
Okay,
so
cool.
you can donate on my Facebook page
Okay.
if anyone wants to help out. It's raise money for the Gold Star family members and for the fallen.
Okay.
So that happens in April. So
Nice.
training for that.
Nice. Bobby, thanks for coming on again.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll get Dan.
We'll get Dan
do this
on.
again.
We'll figure it out.
You know? Sorry, Dan, but we had a good show without you.
Yep.
But don't worry. See,
Next time.
even I love you. I know he does.
I'm forced to.
We're out. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.